full-fledged Pyra and Mythra or full-fledged Link. I would assume that if we're going to be sticking with the Incineroar, then I would make an assumption that we're going to see the Pyra and Mythra. I'm not sure you're thinking, Cherry. What do you think?
This is definitely one of those matchups where it's definitely like kind of interesting to see like what choices are made, man. And I say that because Pyra and Mythra are paying, I feel like, for Luxray in terms of just being able to play more aggressively. And I think that for Luxray, he's definitely going to be aware of the fact that if he's going to pick Incineroar, he's going to need to really play on his back foot, play passive, look for that grab, look for whiff punishing, look for really big punishes. Because I feel like we've seen enough Pyra and Mythra from RP4 be playing that character tonight where Luxray is going to know what timings he's going to need to do. He's going to know that he's going to need to play passive. He's going to like kind of stand like the edge of stage underneath the platform, protected from like the side B from Pyra, so they can jump onto it, as well as being able to just shield the Mythra side B, and then just grab back throw, F smash, down smash, neutral B, whatever. And I'm not sure what we'll be seeing, because I'm sure we could possibly see the Link. I'm also sure that stage selection will be extremely important in this set, just because I think that we'll be seeing just a really good use of small battlefield. Northern, small battlefield probably again. Like, I think that definitely if it's Link, we're going to be seeing, like, if Luxray ever wins a game, we're seeing Northern Link. That's just what's going to happen, if not at the start. Like, it's inevitable, man. Just like the Purple Man from the Avengers movie, Thanos. It's inevitable, man. And I just think that as it gets ready to start, all right, prediction confirmed for once. I'm like 1 in like 100 now. For a right prediction, man.
It's all right. I failed on the prediction earlier. I definitely thought the Link was nowhere to be seen, and here we are. We've seen it a couple times. But contradicting that, like you said, we're seeing the Pyra and Mythra. You know, if we're going off of trends here, he started off with the Pyra and Mythra in every set that he's also chosen Link. So I wonder if it's just let's just see how Pyra and Mythra work out. I've played these matchups before with this character. Let's see if it goes just as well, or better, or worse.
Yeah.
And I think the first game, well, since it's a best of 5, this may not be the case, but I think the first game is going to dictate what character choices are made for the rest of the set. Ooh, get some nice strings. Look at those 3 forward airs into a B. That was a very stylish combo.
Yeah, always looking really good. And that's another thing is when you can put on damage, nice counter, and that's such a great idea because now as your Incineroar, you can pretty much force the approach option, you know. And now look at that, he shields through, tries to go for his kill confirm with the side B, does not get, shields that, able to get, now it's confirmed, that's done. And this is what I was talking about, where Luxray knows he just needs to get those openings, man. And this is something that a lot of players kind of struggle against Pyra and Mythra, because you're like, well, Cherry, I don't play Incineroar, I don't have a counter that makes me turn twice as strong, and I don't want to play Incineroar. That's fine. At the same token, it's more of a playstyle than a mentality change than anything, really. And that while it does seem close, it's gonna be close. Especially when you're playing a character like Incineroar, he's just a bit slower. Like, he's gonna be manhandled a bit more by these fast combos as well as giant hitboxes from Pyra and Mythra. And the way he's playing, he's just going for what he can at the low percents, and at the high percents like this, as well as much higher percents, he's just getting what he has, what he knows, his combos, and not going for anything extra. Because as soon as you start going for stuff that like isn't necessarily even true, in both ways of the word, it gets a bit more dangerous.
Certainly. As we are seeing right here, on the second stock for both of these players, Luxray's definitely been in control. Only has taken about 30%. I just noticed that RP4 is just really struggling to get that stage control. Back in neutral, let's see who can take advantage.
Nice.
Luxray's going to get it back. He's looks for the down tilt. That was definitely the most optimal option.
I was kind of expecting him to go for F tilt there when he was running back. I was like so hopeful. I was like, you better do it, man.
Yeah, F tilt is very strong, so it definitely would seem logical to go for it.
Oh no, RP4 getting a bit mashy on his controller. The more optimal thing to do here, once you throw that F tilt or the side B out, as well as that F tilt that we saw Luxray block, was that he should have just went for it again. Like, hold your ground. When you're Incineroar, he is too slow to push forward on you, even if you're Pyra. And what you'll want to do is you throw out the F tilt as soon as you can do it again. And what happens is Luxray will try and move forward, and he'll either realize that he can't move forward because he's not fast enough and shield in time, or he doesn't do that at all and then gets punished with another F tilt and then he's off stage. And now we're seeing the opposite. RP4 is throwing out even more hitboxes, trying to maybe catch this Incineroar, catch the character while he's at this high percent, not wanting to get any more damage dealt to him, especially considering that the types of moves that Incineroar has at the high percent are even more powerful than normal, like the grab, the dash tag, the Kfair, the down smash.
Wow, it looked like, I'll have to see it's the replay, but it looked like RP4 went for the side air dodge and just got caught before he could grab the ledge.
Interesting. We'll have to see. I'm also curious as to why he didn't switch to Mythra. Not even for the speed or anything, but just because you are invincible and still move while in the animation for it. Unlike Sheik and Pokemon Trainer, where you're kind of just stuck in place, you actually do drift. So he could have teleported pretty much onto the ledge with that. And that's something that I think also when you're playing Pyra and Mythra, it allows you to also take a second to breathe and be like, all right, well, now I know he's not going to read me because I just switched. How can you predict that, And I think towards the end of that, RP4 kind of just lost control of the end of that set, or the end of that match, rather. And what do you think? Do you think he'll switch to Link? Because that's my bet, but what do you think he needs to do if he stays Pyra and Mythra?
I think he definitely was having a very solid gameplay. I just think that Luxray was just getting the right reads. He really chose the right options that really helped him to constantly gain stage control. That's definitely the number one thing I'd say that he was really having problems with in this game, was just trying to get Luxray off stage, because ever since Luxray lost his first stock and then RP4 lost his stock, it just was not smooth sailing for him in terms of just trying to keep him off stage. I think that what RP4 is going to need to do is maybe use Mythra's agility and it looks like he will be staying like them. So I think that if RP4 is going to be able to take more control, I think he's going to have to utilize Mythra's agility more in terms of... I like those forward air strings he was doing. I think that one of the things, though, he might be worried about, and for good reason, too, is that when you're Mythra and you're playing against an Incineroar, where every attack could basically end your stock at about 100%, it makes sense he might be fearful. But I know, Cherry, you've mentioned this to me before. One of the things that many players may think is when you have a character where they can transform, that have basically a form that's lighter, another that's heavier, kind of like Pokemon Trainer, they usually will want to stay as the heavier form when they're at higher percents. And as you've mentioned this to me, that's not necessarily the case, because what about the obviously you want to be fearful, because if you're the lighter character, the next hit might take you out. But then it becomes more down to, all right, how are you going to use the lighter character's agility and their moveset differently in order to take advantage of your opponent? And one of the things I noticed is that RP4, most of the time, if I stand correct, I think more often than not, he's opting for Pyra, especially at these higher percentages. And I don't play much Pyra, and Mythra, but when I do like to play Pyra, but I think then that comes at a cost when I'm just so slow in the air, my attacks come out so slowly, and as a character like Incineroar, I'm not going to care if I'm playing against a character. Definitely. I'm not going to care if I am playing as a character that has strong hits, because I'm the one that can dish out the stronger hits. So it just mainly comes down to, in my eyes, the ability to just have good awareness of the situation in terms of what you can do with your lighter character. Don't ever be afraid to use a lighter character even at a higher percent.
Yeah, that's one of those things that we kind of talk about with like the Magnificent with this Bowser play is really forcing that intimidation kind of. And Luxray, not like completely familiar with it, and definitely kind of enforcing that with his Incineroar this and every other tournament we've seen him participate in. And we're starting to see RP4 kind of make his way back into this game. Still needs to take about a stock and a half off in order to win it, but I think it's still possible. I think that the whole reason why he stayed Pyra Mythra was kind of test himself, be like, all right, like I need this win. I need to win this to stay in this part of the game. And he's definitely getting the ledge guarding down with these F tilt placements. Like, see this? Dash bash, F smash, perfect.
Good read. Good read. Knowing that Luxray is no stranger to taking advantage of those side Bs to gain the upper hand. But RP4 knew, not this time. And because of that, if he got that F smash, that definitely would have tied up the game. Even probably would have got RP4 in the lead. Not down yet, though.
Nice, switches to Mythra there. I think that was really great in the air, just because I think Incineroar thought he's going for the side B there as Mythra, but instead he went low and just used the airspeed to get close to the ledge, but that might hurt. Air dodges. He's definitely going to want to switch to Mythra, I think, at some point here, if possible. No, doesn't do that. And there,
I think that's going to be it.
Yeah, I think so, too.
So, it looks like I don't think RP4 did very bad at all. I think what he shined really well at in that last stock was using the transformations for the right situations. Like, for example, I liked how right before, as you saw that clip started, when the side B was being used by Pyra, prior to that, he was jumping towards the ledge with Mythra, and then he bounced back with Pyra. So it was situations like that are really interesting to see when it comes to utilizing both characters and not just sticking to one. But I just think that because of the pressure that we saw throughout that match, that I don't know if I should be quoted, but I think we've been in this position before in this tournament where against Magnificent, RP4 lost a game and just opted for the Link. But again, don't quote me, because he is staying as the Pyra and the Mythra.
Now you're only 98 guesses away from being tied with me in terms of how many times I've been wrong.
Slowly but surely, I'm going to get there.
Call it the commentator's curse, man. But as we see, we're seeing the switch straight to Mythra into this set. On Pokemon Stadium 2, I think that RP4 definitely wants this bigger stage layout. And I also think that in this matchup specifically, I think that what we need to see is more Mythra off stage for low recoveries and more Mythra on stage for neutral. Because it does not seem like Pyra does well in just general neutral. She does well in advantage. Like, she's crazy good in advantage, like we just saw. Like, that was insanity. And I also think that like certain situations here, we are looking for like just Mythra. I always want to say the acronym. But we're seeing Pyra here, or Mythra rather, I keep stuttering. Mythra here, using these moves, using these faster hitboxes, and really showing off why I was kind of talking about this early on. Like, we want Mythra to use these more annoying, fast hitboxes to really control the neutral. But as I say that, we do see the one situation where Mythra is not good at, and that, against that counter, she's gonna get hit every time.
Ooh, looking for that F tilt, throws it out twice. You know he really wants that kill. But RP4 is doing a really good job tagging on some damage that's necessary before potentially losing this stock. That's probably going to do it with that up throw.
Yeah, and it's tied pretty much at this point. I would say that the one thing that is interesting now is that we are seeing the use of this Mythra way more, and I think that's a great thing to see. It's definitely the adaptation that we needed from RP4 in order to kind of get back into this game, man. Like, we've seen so many times and times again where, like, he's very close, but then gets into a situation that's kind of similar to looking like this man, and it's just not the best idea to use Mythra outside of your neutral game, man. And the same thing goes for Pyra in anything but advantage state.
No punish from that super laggy forward smash. Let's see.
Back row?
Back row, definitely. Wants as much stage control as possible. RP4 is going to bring back to neutral.
There it is. Yeah, and again, man, you cannot be switching to Pyra in these disadvantage states. Like, she's genuinely only good in advantage state. And we're starting to see that.
I think it's that nervousness, or just that again, those instincts kicking in. I just think we all have them as players, and I think the extremely, like, if you want to even go to like the PGR players, they're probably the types of players that have finally like gone out of the mindset of, you know, heaviest does not mean best. Because even if, like, I tell myself, you know, just because the heaviest can live the longest doesn't mean it's the best option. I'm still probably going to go for it. Wow.
And that's why you play Mythra in disadvantage.
Right there.
It's so annoying. And this is exactly why I say this, is because, like, yes, you also have the very fast up B and the side B for the horizontal, but you aren't using the side B a lot. We've seen how easy this Luxray to punish here. But look at this. Forward air, forward air, forward air. Up B's in disadvantage. And the little projectile makes it pretty much impossible to figure out whether you're supposed to tech or not, because the large projectile can knock you straight into that wall. The spread out version of that projectile may sometimes knock you in the wall. It's a complete 50-50. You have to literally DI up or down depending on which side you're closer to of the spread to get, like, the correct tech hitbox, because one will just send you down or whatever and the other sends you up. And so you have to, like, really make sure you're doing the correct one, as well as even knowing which one they're going to pick, because they decide prior. So it's just, that was one of the situations where it really shined with Mythra's disadvantage state being so good. Her neutrals game is so good. Who cares about advantage state with Pyra when you could literally just put yourself into that position whenever you want? She's so fast. Like, that's just showing off all of that dominance that Mythra has in all those key points of the game. And I think that we might be seeing a turning point. Maybe that's just the boost RP4 needed. Maybe he decides, no, I'm going to play it safe. Let's go Link. Let's just go Link. We haven't seen him switch yet, so I don't know.
I wonder if it may have to do with what the counter pick option is that Luxray chooses. I haven't been looking at their stage bans, but you know if that Northern Cave is available. You know that's a very Link-friendly stage in RP4's eyes. But I think that because of that win, it's really putting him definitely in the mood of, you know, maybe I'll stick with Pyra and Mythra. Unless he's just saying it's either Pyra and Mythra in Winners Finals or nothing at all. And right there, like I mentioned, Northern Cave, he's going with that Pyra and Mythra.
Interesting. I think, to be honest, I think that this might be a decent stage for him, or for them, is because Pyra and Mythra, man, they love being able to carry people across stage. They love being able to just literally fair you once or up tilt you once and go for like 3 fairs in a row, right? And when you have a stage like this where the entire middle is open, you can literally carry people across the entire stage, and oh my gosh, it beat the counter. Side B doesn't even matter anymore. It beat the counter. And we are seeing this switch to Pyra, which I hate, because we are going to be starting to see it.
Oh, that's going to do it.
Yes, Pyra's up B does not really snap the ledge well, and even if it does, it's very easy to predict, even for a character that may not be able to get out of the way of it as quickly as Incineroar. And every time we've seen, Luxray has had no trouble just backing up, seeing what happens, and then going for his move that he knows will kill. And that's kind of what's put RP4 into this very tight spot, and we're going to kind of see it continue. And one thing about this map that I think he should really take into consideration is that fact that he can do the same thing. He can throw out the side Bs as well as the F tilts, and then that. Yeah.
He just walked off the platform and forward air like it was nothing at all.
Yeah, and like I feel like when you're playing this character, you as Pyra Mythra need to be doing what he just did with Pyra at those high percents, right? Like when you're edge guarding somebody at high percents, you're Pyra. You have to really and most of the time you're going to be trying to get those like really big killing moves with the back air or forward air kind of thing. But if you're playing on somebody on stage, switch to Mythra, man. They literally will never touch you again. They'll be okay. And that's a nice conversion. Gets the side B into grab, kind of reading the DI as well as the landing situation of Luxray. Gets the grab again. Let's see what he goes. Forward throw, goes for forward throw, F smash, doesn't get it.
One of the things I noticed that is very useful in this matchup, it seems, is using that blazing end. It just seems that because of the speed of Luxray's Incineroar, just Incineroar in general, that it's very hard to get around. And especially if you take into consideration not even just the movement, but also how that affects Incineroar's initial jump. So as you see, Incineroar has to use his double jump in order to get over that blazing end. So
yeah,
that's what probably makes it even better than
what a great edge guard.
Originally been. Yeah, that was they were at, he was at a relatively high percent, but still, I was pretty shocked that killed.
Yeah. I think it's also just like the sides on this stage are a bit smaller than like Kalos. Not too much, but just enough to where it is a big deal. And we are going to see here the swap to Mythra, which I think is good at this low percent. You could really continue it here, but choosing not to. Goes for Pyra with the ledge guard, but that's side beat.
Last moment.
Big,
oh no,
that's
going to get.
Yep.
Oh
and
my god.
Think about that, guys. The little amount of greed in a sense, or like haste from RP4 is what killed him there. Because as we see, this really wasn't over yet in a sense. Like he was at 49%, dodges that, goes for down throw, bread and butters, man. This is just normal stuff. Decides right here, I'm gonna approach. Luxray knows this. He knows that he plays. Everybody kind of does that against him, and then not expecting it, loses his stock.
That's so unfortunate too. Did you see how the side B? The reason he air dodged is because the side B, when it sent him to the other side of the stage, it popped him on the end of towards the ledge. So he had the chance to tech, and he missed it. But it was so close to the ledge that he just fell off, and then it counted as an air dodge. So that was just very unfortunate landing position on RP4's part that caused him to end up losing the game, and unfortunately the set. But yeah, that's going to be a 3-1 in Luxray's favor, so he's guaranteed a top 2 spot while sitting in grand finals.
Yeah, and also to kind of just put this in perspective, man, Luxray, he was literally not expected to win in terms of the viewer speculation. The submissions were 22% to Luxray winning that set against RP4, with RP4 having 78% of the vote, and with Luxray taking it, man, that's gonna be a pretty big swing in terms of like our viewer voting and all that. So just interesting to kind of see, because definitely it was kind of shifting that way. We saw RP4 was kind of getting dominated a bit in that earlier set, and then once he won that one game, it got much closer. And then again, those small mistakes, and I think that's why RP4 was kind of just like, I'm in winners still. It's a best of 5. I have a chance to finally really show my stuff and learn a bunch about this matchup that I'm trying to, with a character I'm trying to get better with. And so I think that more players should kind of take advantage of that. If you're in winner's side of any part of the match and you've played a couple matches here or there, and you're like feeling like, I want to try and learn something, don't ever be afraid to just use a new character that you're trying to learn in tournament, man, because eventually once you get it good enough, you have to at some point test it. And what better time than the present, you know? So I think that was a good set overall, especially with the adaptation, but I'm excited to see the next one.
And we are just in time to hop in over in the losers bracket right now, which interestingly enough, I think I've got a great announcement for everybody. It looks like Challenge is back up, and I've been able to update all of the matches while we were going through that. So let's come back up to speed really quickly. So Luxray NYC, this week's number 2 seed, with a 3-1 victory, puts himself into grand finals right now over RP4. And we've got a little bit of catching up to do over on the other side, because it looks like currently we had a match going on between Just Doki and Anyone Can Cook that we just got results